You know, there's something I hear from so many folks over 60. They tell me, I just don't feel like I used to. Maybe it's a little more stiffness in the mornings, a bit more forgetfulness, or just feeling like your energy isn't what it once was. And I get it, aging brings changes. But here's the good news. You have so much more control over your health than you might think. That's why today we're talking about how to prevent some of the most common health problems as we age. Because let's be honest, nobody wants to spend their golden years dealing with avoidable aches, fatigue, or doctor's visits. The best part? It doesn't take drastic changes. Small, simple habits can make a huge difference in how you feel every single day. So let's start with the first, most powerful habit, movement. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. I'm not as spry as I used to be. How much exercise do I really need? Well, take the story of Richard, a 72-year-old retired teacher. Richard had been struggling with joint pain and low energy for years. He thought it was just part of getting older, until his daughter encouraged him to start walking just 15 minutes a day. At first, it wasn't easy, but within a few weeks, he noticed his stiffness fading, his mood lifting, and even his blood pressure improving. Now, he walks 30 minutes every morning and says it's the best part of his day. You don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights. A daily walk, some gentle stretching, or even dancing to your favorite music can keep your joints flexible, your heart strong, and your mind sharp. The key is consistency, just a little bit, every day. Now, the second habit is just as important. Eating for longevity. As we age, our nutritional needs change. Things like processed foods, too much sugar, or not enough protein can sneak up on us, leaving us feeling sluggish or even worsening conditions like arthritis or high blood pressure. But small tweaks can have a big impact. For example, adding more fiber, found in foods like oats, beans, and fruits, can help digestion and even lower cholesterol. And don't forget protein. It's essential for keeping muscles strong, which helps prevent falls and keeps you independent. A simple trick? Try adding a handful of nuts to your breakfast or swapping white bread for whole grain. And finally, let's talk about sleep. If you've noticed it's harder to get a good night's rest, you're not alone. Many of us struggle with sleep as we age, but poor sleep can lead to memory issues, a weaker immune system, and even weight gain. So what helps? A regular bedtime routine. Maybe some light reading, avoiding screens an hour before bed, and keeping your room cool and dark. These three habits, moving daily, eating well, and prioritizing sleep, are the foundation of staying healthy as we age. And the best part? They're all within your control. You don't need fancy equipment or expensive supplements, just small, mindful choices that add up over time. Now, in the next part, we'll dive into two more key habits: how to keep your mind sharp and the importance of staying socially connected. Because health isn't just about the body, it's about living a full, joyful life at every age. You know, one of the biggest fears I hear from people over 60 is about memory loss. Why did I walk into this room again? Or, where did I put my keys? Sound familiar? It's easy to worry that these little moments are the first signs of something serious. But here's what I want you to remember. Our brains change as we age, just like the rest of our bodies. But that doesn't mean decline is inevitable. In fact, there are simple, even enjoyable ways to keep your mind sharp and your memory strong. Let's start with mental stimulation. Think of your brain like a muscle. If you don't use it, it gets weaker. But the good news? Keeping it active doesn't mean doing crossword puzzles all day, unless you love them. It's about finding little ways to challenge yourself in ways that feel fun and engaging. Take the story of Margaret, an 80-year-old who'd always loved painting but stopped when her arthritis made holding a brush difficult. Then her granddaughter introduced her to digital drawing on a tablet, lighter on her hands, but just as creative. Not only did she rediscover her love for art, but she also noticed her focus and memory improving. She even started teaching online classes for other seniors. Before we continue with the next topic, I want to thank you for watching. If this video is helping you, please consider subscribing. Your support truly means a lot and helps us create more valuable content. You don't have to learn a new technology, of course. Something as simple as reading a book, playing cards with friends, or even trying a new recipe can give your brain the workout it needs. The key is to keep learning, keep creating, and most importantly, keep it enjoyable. Now let's talk about something just as vital: staying socially connected. Did you know that loneliness can be as harmful to your health as smoking? It's true. Isolation can lead to higher risks of heart disease, depression, even dementia. But here's the flip side. Staying socially active can add years to your life, and life to your years. I think of my neighbor, Henry. After his wife passed, he spent months hardly leaving the house. Then one day, his old bowling league invited him back, just for coffee at first. Slowly, he started joining them for games again. Now, he's not just bowling, he's organizing charity tournaments and has a whole new group of friends. He says it's given him a reason to get up in the morning. You don't need a big social circle to reap the benefits. Even small connections, a weekly phone call with a friend, joining a gardening club, or volunteering at the local library can make all the difference. Now, let's tie this back to health. Stress management. Chronic stress is a silent troublemaker as we age. It weakens the immune system, raises blood pressure, and even affects memory. But here's the thing. Staying socially engaged and mentally active are two of the best ways to combat stress naturally. A simple tip: pair activities whenever possible. Walk with a friend, movement plus social connection. Play chess or cards, mental exercise plus laughter. Cook a meal for someone, creativity plus bonding. These combinations are like a power-up for your health. So far, we've covered movement, nutrition, sleep, mental engagement, and social connection, 5 pillars of aging well. But there's one more game changer we need to discuss: preventive care. Because no matter how healthy our habits are, some things need a doctor's watchful eye. And that's exactly what we'll dive into in the final part: how to work with your healthcare team to catch little issues before they become big problems. You know, there's a saying I love: an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Nowhere is that more true than as we get older. Because here's the thing, even with all the good habits we've talked about, our bodies still need a little extra attention as the years go by. That's where preventive care comes in, not waiting until something hurts or stops working, but staying one step ahead. Let me tell you about my friend Susan. At 68, she was doing everything right, eating well, walking daily, even doing brain games. But when her doctor insisted on a routine bone density scan, they discovered early osteoporosis. Now, thanks to catching it early with simple supplements and balance exercises, she's avoided what could have been a life-changing fracture. That's the power of prevention. So what should be on your radar? First, regular checkups. I know, no one loves going to the doctor. But those annual visits are your first line of defense. Blood pressure checks, cholesterol tests, blood sugar monitoring. These simple screenings can spot trouble long before you feel symptoms. And ladies, this one is crucial. Don't skip your mammograms or bone scans. Gentlemen, prostate checks matter too. These aren't just items on a medical checklist. They're tools that give you more healthy, active years. Now let's talk about vaccinations. After 60, your immune system could use some reinforcements. The shingles vaccine, could save you from months of pain. Annual flu shots, a simple way to avoid serious complications, and that updated pneumonia vaccine. It's kept more than one of my viewers out of the hospital. Here's something else we don't talk about enough: medication reviews. If you're taking multiple prescriptions, ask your doctor or pharmacist for an annual medication checkup. Sometimes pills interact in ways that cause fatigue or memory fog, and adjusting them can feel like getting years of energy back. But here's what really ties all our lessons together: listening to your body. That little ache that comes and goes, the slight shortness of breath you've been ignoring. Your body sends signals, and the earlier you act on them, the better the outcome. Take George, a 75-year-old who noticed he was making more trips to the bathroom at night. He almost brushed it off as just aging, but mentioned it at his physical. Turns out, it was an early sign of a treatable prostate issue. Because he spoke up, he avoided bigger problems down the road. Now let's bring this all together. We've covered keeping your body moving, nourishing yourself with good food, prioritizing restorative sleep, challenging your mind, staying socially connected, and now partnering with your doctor. These aren't separate items on a checklist. They weave together into what I call the fabric of good aging. Miss one thread, and the whole cloth weakens, but strengthen each one. That's how you create years full of energy, clarity, and joy. As Dr. Sarah Johnson, a geriatric specialist at Mayo Clinic, reminds us, the patients who thrive after 70 aren't necessarily those with perfect genes. They're the ones who show up for their health every single day in small, consistent ways. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one area we've discussed that feels most important to you right now. Maybe it's scheduling that checkup you've been putting off, or calling an old friend for a weekly coffee date, or simply adding an extra vegetable to your dinner tonight. Small steps create big changes, and remember, you're not alone in this. Share in the comments what healthy habit you're working on. Your story might inspire someone else. If this video helped you, please like and share it. You never know who in your life might need these tips. And subscribe for more uplifting, practical advice for thriving at every age. Because here's the truth. Getting older isn't about losing youth. It's about gaining wisdom, freedom, and if we care for ourselves properly, more good years than we ever imagined possible. Here's to your health, today, and for all the tomorrows to come.